All right, let's look at 6.2, the equation of a line in standard form. So standard form looks kind of like our y equals mx plus b, but a little bit different. Standard form puts everything on one side and sets all of that equal to 0. So it says number x plus number y plus c equals 0. So a, b, and c are the coefficients, okay? They are all integers. So there are no fractions allowed. Okay. We also cannot have a negative in front of x, so that means a has to be positive. All right. My x term is positive. And not only does my x term have to be positive, but a and b cannot both be 0. If they were both 0, then those parts wouldn't even be included, and then my equation would be like 5 equals 0, and that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So you have to have at least one of these terms, which means a or b must be a number. You can't have both of them be 0. One of them can be 0, for sure, and we're going to look at those situations, but we can't have both of them 0. So this is our standard form. This is what we're working with today. The coefficients, a, b, and c, they are integers. They are not fractions. X must be positive, and you have to have at least an x or a y variable. So let's do some practice with this stuff. So example 1. Identify values of A, B, and C. Let's see. 5x minus 10y plus 30 equals 0. So what are our different pieces? So our coefficients are numbers in front of our letters. That's what we're looking for. So 5 is a number. So A is 5. Negative 10 is a number. So B is negative 10. Okay, that negative is involved. And then my C is the 30. Okay, so alphabetical as it goes across. A is my x value, x, the number attached to my x. B is the number attached to my y, and C is the number that doesn't have any letters at all. Okay, let's try another one. A, B, let's say 7x plus y minus 8 equals 0. Okay. So again, we're looking at what the numbers are that are in front of our letters. So the number in front of our x is our a value. So our a is 7. The number in front of our y is our b value. And if there's no number there, just like when we were solving equations, then there's a 1 that's there. So b equals 1 because I only have one y. And then C is the number that has no letters, so it's negative 8. Good. All right, let's do example 2. Now we want to convert from standard form into our more usual slope y-intercept form. And then after we do that, we can identify the slope and the y-intercept. So the first thing we have to do is we have to look at the equation we're given. So x plus y minus 3 equals 0. And remember that in slope y-intercept form, we want to make it look like y equals mx plus b. So that means I have to get everything to the other side except for the y. We're going to keep the y here. So let's move our x. So it's got the plus in front of it. So we're going to subtract x from both sides. Okay, just like when we were solving equations, we're going to do the opposite. So that leaves me with y minus 3 equals negative x. And then to move the 3, we need to do the opposite again. So instead of minusing, we're going to plus 3 to both sides. And there we have it. We have y equals negative x plus 3. So we've now just converted our standard form into y-intercept form. So let's finish this off. Identify the slope and the y-intercept. So remember, slope is what's in front of our x. So slope is going to be negative 1. And our y-intercept is the number that's not on the x. So there's my y-intercept. So my b value would be 3. And don't forget, slope is our m value. So there you have it. Slope equals mx plus b. Let's try another example. Here I've got x plus 2y minus 4 equals 0. We want to rearrange it into y equals mx plus b form. So to do that, we move things by doing the opposite. So instead of plus, we're going to minus x from both sides. That leaves us with 2y minus 4 equals negative x. Move the 4, so we're going to plus 4 to both sides. So that's 2y equals now negative x plus 4. Finish it off. We're going to move that 2. So right now it's timesing. So the opposite is divide both sides by 2. Okay. So that leaves me with y equals, well, I can write this as negative x plus 4 all over 2, but nobody ever does. This would not be true slope y-intercept form. I need to break up my fraction. So it would really be negative 1/2 x plus 4 over 2. So I took this 2 and I put it over this one and that one. So I could have done it up here. I could have done both of them individually as dividing by 2. So I could have said that divided by 2 and the 4 over 2. Could have done that. Because I want to keep them separate, finish it off, let's just reduce that fraction. Y equals negative 1/2 x plus 2. Okay. Some of you might be saying, whoa, miss, where did this one come from? Again, it's because we have that not usually written, but understood 1 in front of our x. Okay, let's look at example 3. This time I want to convert from slope y-intercept form into standard form. This one's pretty straightforward because slope y-intercept, I've only got one thing on this side, and standard just means get 0 equal to everything. So remember, standard is ax plus by plus c equals 0. Well, to get everything equal to 0, let's just move the y. So let's subtract y from both sides. And what does that leave us with? Well, this is now gone. So we've got 0 equals 6x, let's keep our order here, minus y plus 10. And we're done. We did it. If you want, you can put the 6x at the start, minus y plus 10, and put the equal 0 on the other side. That's fine, but that's standard form. We did it. Nice work. Both of these count as standard form. All right, let's try this one. So I've got y equals negative 3 over 2x minus 8. So again, I just have to move the y. Okay, so let's subtract y from both sides. And what does that leave me with? 0 equals negative 3 over 2x minus y minus 8. Well, we're not done. I'm not allowed to have a fraction. Okay, fractions are not allowed. There's no fractions allowed. And x must be positive. Okay, so no fractions and x must be positive. So I'm going to have to take care of that here. To do that, I would say, well, the fraction part is this dividing by 2 bit. So let's just times everything by 2. Okay, we can do that. So when we times by 2, I have to times everything by 2. Times by 2, times by 2, times by 2. I have to times everything by 2. And I want to get rid of the negative, so let's times everything by that negative 2 to get it all done in the same step. Okay, So what does that look like? Well, anything times 0 is still 0 equals, that negatives cancel out, the 2's cancel out, so I'm now left with 3x. Negative times a negative gives me a plus 2 times y, so 2y. Negative 8 times negative 2 gives me positive 16. And there you have it. We can have 0 equals 3x plus 2y plus 16, or we can rewrite that as 3x plus 2y plus 16 equals 0. So I can just move that over to the other side, and now I have exactly what I wanted. Ax plus by plus c equals 0. Standard form. Well done. Okay, let's look at this word problem. So it's example 2 from your textbook. We need to identify fixed and variable costs in a partial variation. That's a lot of language there. We've got the celebrations banquet hall uses the equation 25n minus c plus 1,250 equals 0 to determine the cost for a hall rental, where c represents the cost in dollars, which depends on n, the number of people attending. Okay. Express the equation in slope y-intercept form, identify the fixed and variable costs, illustrate it graphically. What is the rental cost if 100 people attend a soccer banquet? So we got a lot going on here. So let's write down the equation that they gave me and start removing all that extra bit and just figure out what we want to do. So we have 25n minus c plus 1250 equals 0. We're being told that c is really my y, n is really what we're used to seeing for our x, and we want to turn this into our y equals mx plus b form. Okay, so to keep with their letters, that means I want my c equals, still have a slope value, n is my x, plus b, which will be my random number. So I'm just converting standard form into y equals mx plus b form. So let's do that. We need c to come over to this side. So why don't we do that? I'm going to just reverse my order here. So I have 0 equals 25n minus c plus 1250. So all I did first was just reverse the order. And then to get my c to the front, instead of minus c, we're going to plus c over to the front. So that gives me c equals 25n plus 1,250. And now I am in c equals mn plus b form. Perfect. All right. What's next? We need to, so that was A. B, we need to identify the fixed and variable costs. So fixed, let's remember, fixed, that's like your initial. It does not change. No changing. So in this scenario, the number that doesn't change is going to be my initial value, which is our B value. Okay, so our fixed cost is my 1,250. So that's like the flat fee to rent the hall or something. My variable costs, these are the ones that do change. So that's going to be the one that's attached to my letter. Okay, so this one's going to be my slope. This is my rate of change. Okay, so the variable costs do change. So here in my equation, my variable cost is going to be equal to 25 because that n, remember from our question, says it's the number of people because it depends on n, which is my number of people. That's why we call it variable, because it changes. It depends on how many people we have there. Okay. Illustrate the equation graphically using a graphing calculator. So we'll do that in a minute, but let's just eyeball this and think our way through here. A graph of this, we know I'm going to have my number of people down below. So N is going to be on my x-axis. We have our cost is over here on my y-axis, so that'll be in dollars. Okay, so that's my C. I'm told my initial cost is, let's just pop it there. So that's at, I didn't give myself enough space, 1250. And we're being told that it's going up by 25 each person. So my cost is going to go up 25 for every one person. So what's that, 1275? So my rise is going up 25 every person. So I went up 25 to there. I'm going to go up 25 here, up 25 here, to the next person, and so on. So each time I'm increasing by 25. So my rise is 25 because my run is for every one person. Okay. D, what is the rental cost if 100 people attend? So that's going to take some calculation. All right. So final question, cost if 100 people attend. So that means N is 100. So I'm going to use my rearranged equation. Oops, we lost it. I'm going to use my rearranged equation here because it's already telling me what my cost will be. 25N plus 1250. We're going to substitute that 100 in for N. So that means I'm going to have 25 times 100 plus 1250. Well, 25 times 100 is just 2500 plus 1250. Add that up, 3750. Therefore, it will cost $3,750 for 100 people. Whoops. Sorry. So we subbed in 100 for N because we were told it was 100 people. 2,500 plus 1,250, total cost. Boom. Well done.